All right, so two people that have been in WWE in the past and kind of left on not great terms, but whatever, have decided that they're going to go crazy on Twitter in the past few days. These two people are Marty Jannetty and Chyna. Now, normally they wouldn't be getting any kind of headlines whatsoever, but what they said is frankly ridiculous. So let me read off what they said here. Well, at least some bullet points, because China went crazy for like hours. So I'm not going to read all that crap. I couldn't even understand half of it. But it says that Marty Jannetty was drinking Jack Daniels for 48 hours. I don't know if he actually timed that or what, but I can't imagine if it was true that he actually had the sense of mind to time himself for it. But he types, and keep in mind this is riddled with grammar and spelling errors, something I would never do. So I'm reading this the way that he typed it out. Oh hell yes, I'm axe this now. Shawn, my good friend, what up, biatch? I got a book coming out. Well, not yet. There's a few moral issues. You may want to contact me first, 'cause I'm telling about my life. You being a part of it, well, hell, call me. But in truth, I'd rather you not. The book will be so much better if I don't fall for your shit. But if you say, don't say that, I'll remember what yo religious fake ass said about me in your bullshit book. Anyone wanting to see real will. I ain't protecting yo ass. So let's go with the Genetti thing for right now.
Word to his mother.
I've this is going to be something I'm going to echo a lot in this these two episodes, both this one and the next one when we're talking about Evan Bourne. I hope that these people get help because they clearly do need help, but that does not mean I'm not going to make fun of them. So
You have every right to make fun of those two because the fact is, they've had more than one chance to sort their fucking shit out.
mhm.
So let the puns come.
Like,
So with Janetti, now Shawn Michaels has admitted in the past, and of course, let me get this out of the way. We don't necessarily know these guys as well as they know each other. Of course, I know. So don't do the whole "you don't know me" and all that kind of crap. No, I don't. But this is all I can go by. So whatever. With Michaels and everything, Michaels has admitted multiple times that he used to be filled with problems and all that, and he got over it. Janetti seems to be kind of resentful of that and trying to displace his anger of himself onto Shawn Michaels, as if the whole what he says the fake religious ass and all that, and
yeah,
like if Shawn actually is now a couple people have tried to say that Shawn's faking it. Gregory Helms tried to, and all that. But if the majority of the people out there are saying it's true, it's got to be true, and it's just got to be a couple bitter people. So I'm not buying into the fake religious ass thing. I'm not buying into uh, the whole like it's Shawn's problem and all your bullshit. As far as I'm concerned, Marty Jannetty should put the bullshit in the book. If Shawn did it in his, I mean, it was an entertaining book. Shawn did it in
Yeah,
his. Jannetty should put it in his. What the hell?
no, but
yeah,
Sean
just
didn't do anything to slate Janetti at all. In his book, he basically complimented Janetti. He just said at the time, Janetti had a whole slew of problems.
Right, yeah, which is
yeah.
true. So, I mean, he said the same thing about himself that he should have done this, he should have done that, and
I know, but he didn't really shit on Janetti. He didn't say, "Oh, this dude's taking freaking crack" or anything like that.
No,
yeah,
He
and
just
just
literally said, "Oh, he had problems. I wish him well and hope he gets over them." That was
right.
yeah,
it.
and does anyone really buy into him actually writing a book? Can he actually fully, do the Greg grammar or go through one page and actually write a full book
Well,
about
if
his
Sweets
career?
have got anything to define that book's going to be a huge mess of spelling errors and
And just
grammar issues.
Ghost,
text.
ghost writers.
Like, will he even be able to finish the book? Will he be sober enough to? These are legitimate questions. I need to know these.
I'll tell you what, I'll read it. And, I've done the Mick Foley interview and I've done the Chris Jericho interview and stuff. And if Marty Jannetty's peddling a book and all that, if his people want to contact me, I'll read it. I'll give it an honest review. I'll give him an interview. Not going to be like a dick to him or anything like that, of course. But hey, I mean, I'll read it. I'll be interested in it and stuff. But that's not to say that everybody needs a book and that if he's worried about putting these things about Shawn Michaels in there because it'll make the book better, of course it will. And I hope that he has it in there because if like I said, if Shawn put it in his, then Jannetty's entitled to put it in his. But he shouldn't make it an issue of like you said, Mike, shitting on him because Michaels didn't just make like an entire chapter of fuck Marty Jannetty. He was just talking about what happened. So
That'd be
Jannetty
such a
should,
great book if he did,
yeah.
chapter one, fuck Marty Jannetty.
But I
It's
mean,
just
if Marty Jannetty does the same, he has the same respectable common courtesy of this is what happened. I'm just telling the story. Then you go ahead. I'm all for it.
yeah,
But
and the Twitter
oh,
rant just seems like it's just him trying to drag down Shawn as the bad guy and put him down, like trying to dumb him down to the level he's at because of how bitter he is. It just sounds like a sad attempt to try and drag down Shawn somehow
Hmm.
yeah, it's
for
more or
exposure.
less.
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less it is about exposure, and it's about basically him attempting to paint Shawn with this same brush as he's painting himself with, but in the
Yeah,
same, the whole, if you're a reasonable person, personal shit between two people needs to stay personal. It's the same thing what I said about Warrior and Nash. Once you take it to Twitter, you're literally letting people know that you're a dick,
Hmm.
right? And the fact that Jannetty went on Twitter, started this whole nonsensical rant, and started calling out about his drinking abuse and stuff, to me, it sounds more like he wants Shawn to contact him as a cry for help because he's probably disassociated himself with Jannetty, and he is probably jealous of all the shit Shawn's like doing at the moment past his WWE career because
yeah, that
Jannetty's
he's
literally in
yeah,
limbo at the moment, and Shawn's doing this hunting, Macmillan
yeah,
hunting adventure,
he's
and
content with his life and
yeah,
doing fine post wrestling, and Janetti's still wrestling and he's unhappy.
Right. Jannetty
So
had one Intercontinental title reign that really a lot of people forget about, uh, and
it was a good
then that's about
reign.
it.
It was a good reign, and he deserved that title at one point. But the thing is, and I'll say it again, the guy couldn't get his shit together, so they ended up letting him go again.
Hmm.
And that's all it's about. He's had shed loads of chances. Before, I would have been sitting there going, yeah, I feel sorry for the guy, blah, 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 blah. But now, after all these years, after so many attempts of people trying to help you through your problems, you're still going around trashing those same people. At the end of the day, you know what? If you're going to go around acting like such a fucking bitch, then I'm sorry, I'm not going to have any sympathy for you.
And like you said, and I agree 100% with, if you have the personal information that you want to do, I'm sure he can get Shawn's number, and he can just say to him like, "Look, if there's anything that you specifically want me to take out of the book, let me know. And if he hates Shawn, then just don't contact him at all anyway. You know what I mean?
I
He's
think it's just a threat. It's just an empty threat
Yeah, it
that
is. It's an
he's,
empty threat to get some attention on himself, and if he
yeah,
was drunk, he didn't think twice about it. So, or
exactly.
maybe he's a victim of the same Twitter hacker that got Kurt Angle all those times
oh
when he was
yeah,
drunk, right?
The damn bastards everywhere.
The drunken wrestler Twitter hacker that's out there. You son of a bitch, you're getting them all.
Yeah, he attacked Matt Hardy, then went for Angle. Now it's Jannetty.
he seems to have hacked a lot of accounts, hasn't he?
Yeah, we gotta find
Yeah.
this guy.
And he's probably behind the whole Hulk Hogan trashing TNA thing as well.
Yeah, and he put on a
Bastard.
warrior face mask, and he made that video, and
Maybe it was Warrior. You never know.
yeah. So then that brings us to China. China, I don't know, she's even worse than the Marty Jannetty thing.
Cocaine.
I can't
It's a hell
read
of
to
a drug.
you all the shit that she wrote because, like I said before, I didn't understand the majority of it, and it was just fucking crazy. Uh, here's some bullet points though. She said, "I'm coming for you, Vince." She called him a coward, said that he's lame. She mentioned that she's been getting death threats and she should get a restraining order. She said she grouped together Triple H and X-Pac and all those punks, and they better watch out. She, I think, twice said, "Say my name, asshole." I think in reference to Vince. She mentioned freaky Chinese sex tapes, and I completely don't remember what the context in that was.
You sure she
Um,
isn't talking about her new porn parody? Because
it
this
might be. It might
I'm
be.
coming for you, Vince. She probably is. She's talking about these guys ganging up on her. You know,
Oh man. Well, then she said something about you want to rape me and lie and video and laugh and threaten. I don't know if that's like literal
again,
rape or what.
probably the porn parody. It might be some niche porn, but you
Then she,
never know.
then she said lock up your daughters, which is like now she's going after fucking daughters, and then she said, and this is the part I found the most interesting, that supposedly they have a death poll between her and Scott Hall, who's going to die the first, which is kind
Yeah,
of
of
awful,
course.
but at the same time, I bet if I was in that position, I would probably throw some money down. Um, that she again. Let me echo it again. She needs help. I hope she gets the help. I don't want anything bad to happen to any of these people. Marty Jannetty, Chyna, Warrior,
Sure.
so on and so forth. But oh man, it's just that yeah, I was laughing my ass off. It's
Yeah,
completely
you've
It's
something
done
to
a lot
not
of
laugh
things with
at on
her
the
ass as
inside.
well, Tony.
it's just more looking for exposure and trying to make yourself relevant again. Like all it was, incoherent rambling and babbling about. I don't even understand. I'm reading some of it right now.
Yeah, it's
Like,
hard to
what was the
understand, isn't
point?
it? It's kind of just like if you were to take a couple sentences out of a book and throw it into another book, but you're missing a couple words, and it's just sort of like it was the best of times. Call me Moby, and like
It was the blast of times, stupid monkey.
it was just like, oh, I don't. I assume that she was drunk when she was doing it, or
Co-
high, or something like that.
cocaine. It's a
Some
hell of a drug.
something maybe I don't know,
Indeed.
but
Well, the
she's
way
promoting herself with the Vivid Entertainment, or is that what they're called? Vivid Entertainment?
she's a prostitute now as well, apparently. Oh, sorry, a what they call them now? Escorts.
I don't know, probably like administrative sex assistant or some bullshit term like that. You know how like those things are.
Secretary of Sexual Defense.
There's gonna be a lot of defense if China's coming after me that way.
Well, basically, yeah. In terms of her credibility, I think it was Sean Waltman recently did a shoot interview, and he was talking about how she lied about because in her book, if anyone's actually read it,
No.
she said her whole comment about being gang raped when she was at university and she was drunk and woke up with some dude's cock in her mouth. But literally, Waltman went out and said, we were high one time. She was sitting there crying about it, saying that it was all a lie and she lied about this, she lied about that. And she has a tendency to fabricate stories. And she's also
Just a
coming out
tad.
with yeah, well, just a tad, just a smidge.
Yeah.
But she's also having like got to be releasing a WWE themed porn movie.
Oh, I'm actually gonna have to watch that.
I know,
I didn't
and
see the other ones because it's China, but I might
I'm
have to
seeing
watch
if they're
this.
gonna do a Vince and Stephanie like incest scene or something in it, because
I'm trying
why
to
people
look
are
for
hinting at that.
I'm trying to look for the Katie Vick angle.
Just- that was
They're gonna
right.
have Mae Young birthing a hand again. It's gonna be the right hand this
They
time.
better use the best quote of all time in there. Screwing your brains out. That just has to be in that movie too. Somebody
It's
has to try and
literally
imitate Triple H with the cane mask
they're gonna
on.
have parodies of Triple H, Shawn Michaels. They're gonna have parodies of
X-Pac.
Outlaw, literally everybody, and she's gonna be playing herself, and then you're gonna have parodies of all these old WWE superstars in it. So
You're gonna
I'm
have
looking out for that specifically because I want to see how bad this film is gonna be.
you can have Road Dogg come back as Belo. You could have the whole segment with the sausages that DX used to do.
Imagine her getting porked by Doink the Clown.
The whole choppy choppy PP thing with Mrs. Yamaguchi.
Tatanka. There you go. Got another one there for you. Going
What
after his tomahawk.
there's plenty of information they got out there. The sexual chocolate and the world's largest love machine.
Half the stuff they don't even have to make up.
Right, yeah. So I'm actually looking forward to that. That's going to be such a train wreck. That's going to be hilarious. But
It's gonna be so accidentally funny. It's gonna be memorable, maybe. Yeah.
right,
So unintentionally hilarious. It's like a train wreck. You try to look away, but you just can't because you can't believe what you're seeing.
That's kind
it'll.
of like Backdoor to China.
Here's the question though: which one's going to be the better movie, that or the Benoit one?
Oh,
Maybe
you know
maybe they'll
what?
be the same sort of quality, or no, the porn will probably be better than that piece of
Just say
shit.
this: I
Liam
would actually
Neeson. Liam.
pay to see the porn, and Liam
Yeah,
Neeson probably would star in that as
yeah,
Vince
that's
Yeah,
right.
McMahon.
he'd take a porn role over playing Vince McMahon in a Benoit Death movie. It'd be a better career decision, really.
Oh god. But anyway, getting back to this whole tirade on McMahon, I have no clue what she was even talking about when it comes to like the death threats and all that, because she didn't elaborate on any of this. So I don't know if she means that like. I think she kind of mentioned something about like the name China and trying to get the rights back to it or something, but she didn't actually say what she was talking about. So if she means that there's something going on where like Vince is trying to get like use the China name for something and she thinks she's entitled to it or whatever, or if there really are, I mean, she could be telling the truth. I don't know, but that there's death threats and stuff like that.
Okay,
Then
wait. You decide to do anal porn, and you don't expect death threats. They're probably from people who've actually watched the movie. It was that bad. They decided to threaten her. And secondly, the China name wasn't that the WWE's to begin with? Did she
Yeah.
never used that name apart from when she was in WWE? So why is she entitled to it?
as far as I know, she never used it before that.
There you go. So why is she entitled to it?
I don't know. I think wasn't there something that she was doing where she was trying to change her name to China?
Yeah, like what and they tried to
Like
do a Warrior because he
Warrior
changed his
did
last name
that.
to Warrior and he got away with it.
Just
And then
changed.
Andrew Martin changed his name to Andrew Test Martin to try and get the Test name, and that didn't work. And she tried to do the same thing. It's ridiculous.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, they gave you an intellectual property. They built you up from scratch because she was not. She was just like this manly woman when she was before she even got to WWE, and then WWE changed her into this person. No one told her to go and have all that fucking surgery and look like a freaking. I don't even know what her face looks like now. She just like a door slammed into her. You know. Oh
Well,
God.
you might watch out because she's gonna come for you, Mike.
Well, she probably will. She'll probably just point at the camera and say, "I'm coming for you, Mike."
Or
Not.
beware for death threats via Twitter.
Maybe
Yeah.
She'll be coming for you.
she's gonna make a freaky Chinese sex tape with you.
Yeah. I'll just reply with
A
like
week in
cocaine or some
China.
kind of a drug.
Once you
I'll
go
just
in, you
spike my
never go out.
coffee. You know. But at the end of the day, that's just disgusting, Ren. I just got that right now. That'd be like a nightmare. She'll make me go back door.
Dark and creepy.
Brown love.
Oh, there's so many things inside Cradle. Uh, Small package.
Back end submission.
Rear naked chokehold. I mean, come on. We could go on for hours about this, so I'm gonna cut this short now.
I think pro wrestling comes with its own guidebook of innuendos that you could really spend hours on just saying, or even posting pictures. Really, it's crazy.
Uh,
So, with
just
that
remember
being said,
this.
we're
China's coming for you.
gonna go to part three before we make this even worse than it already is. And we will be talking about somebody else who has some drug problems of their own,
Hmm.
Evan Bourne, and the tag title situation. So
It's
check
really is
out part
fine.
three.